Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style. Do you have New Mexico Style? Is it in the air today?
It is in the air. This week is flying by. I know that. It's already Thursday. Tomorrow.
It's already Thursday. I know. I'm so glad. You know, but do you have like those days? I was just telling Kristen, it's so weird. I've been getting more sleep this week. I've been eating less. I've been exercising more with all the dance rehearsals, and I feel fat. I feel tired. I don't know what is this the allergies? Is this the weather? What is going on? Why am I doing everything right?
I think it's allergies.
You do?
And I think sometimes whenever you try to do really good because of like all the days you've been stretching yourself so thin, I think sometimes it just takes a couple of days.
Good point.
So let's see how you feel tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be better.
Okay, I hope it's better. Well, you know what? Here's something that's really interesting. This is interesting. Travel website Skyscanner.com has released a ranking of countries based on rudeness. Now, that's one thing we are not rude. Now, the top 4 rudest places for travelers are France, Russia, the UK, and Germany. Now, the United States came in 7th place. So apparently the Brazilians are the nicest people, but a new study reveals that genetics are what's affecting how nice we are. What do you think about that?
We have something to blame it on, right?
Yeah, our parents. If they're nice, we can thank them, and if they're not, we can blame them.
That's right. All right, yeah. So according to this, researchers at the University of Buffalo and the University of California found that genes could be part of the reason why some people are kind of generous, others are not. So it's not a nice gene, but a gene that contributes to being nice. It was found that these genes combined with people's perceptions of the world as a more or less threatening place could predict generosity.
That is interesting. Now, I don't know. I mean, if you're interested, the study will actually be published in a psychological science, so you can check it out. But I've never been to France. I always wanted to go to France. I love the language, I love the clothes, I love the fashion, I love the food. But I have heard that when you travel there, that people do have a tendency to be a little rude. So that's interesting that it was in the top 4 rudest places in the world. So
right. Well, in America, you have the spots too. They're talking about certain states are known for being like really hospitable, and then you have others that are kind of not so much. Maybe a little more fast-paced might be a better way to describe it.
Although I will say, New York has gotten a bad rap over the years that they could be tough. But you know what? The truth is, actually, if you get to go to New York and you really spend time there, people are so incredibly nice. It's just that they move fast. They just don't want to be slowed down. That's all.
I'll tell you this: when I went to New York, I was at a bagel shop for the first time. And there was this line, and I was up there, and I'm from South Carolina. I'm from a small town.
I know where this is going.
And I'm like, I think we're gonna get the guy just totally skipped over me. Went to he's like, what do you want?
That's so
New
true.
York,
That is New York, because everybody's in a hurry. That's the main thing. They're in a hurry, but they're still very nice people, I promise. And now let's check in with another very nice person who is definitely not rude. KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, who has this morning's headlines.
Kristen, they were probably like, get out of the way, move it.
I literally got bumped out of the way.
I know nothing about that attitude.
No, of course not, Nikki, Miss New Jersey, New York queen over there.
No idea.
Good morning, ladies. No, you're a sweetheart. I love you. Good morning to you at home. Top of your morning news headlines this morning. Police are now saying that Sean Anaya, the man accused of ripping people off into illegally renting homes, had some help. Sean Anaya is currently charged with fraud, forgery, as well as breaking and entering. Well, now police say former Water Authority worker Anna Griego might have played a role in his foreclosure scheme. Detectives believe Griego used her position as a customer service supervisor at the Water Utility Authority to turn on the water in the homes. Investigators say emails from her computer are showing she went beyond the scope of her job to get the meters reset.
That's one of the reasons we went ahead and got the warrant on the computer, so we can analyze the computer and see what was going on, how they were getting the water turned on. And
Griego has not been arrested or charged yet, but the Water Authority tells us she was fired for not following policies and procedures. The so-called silent bandit is in jail this morning, accused of holding up 4 banks in the Santa Fe area. Investigators arrested Jaime Ramos yesterday after his face was plastered all over TV and wanted posters. This is one of them right there. They're calling him the silent bandit because apparently he never said a word during all the alleged holdups. Professional race car driver Al Unser Jr. is at home instead of in jail this morning. The Albuquerque native has accepted a plea deal after being busted for drag racing on Paseo del Norte while being drunk. The 2-time Indy champ pled guilty to regular DWI instead of aggravated DWI yesterday. Unser does have a prior DWI conviction out of Nevada. Part of the reason why Unser was given a plea deal is because the Bernalillo County deputy who pulled him over was supposed to take the stand, but he was a no-show in court. It turns out that deputy is no longer with the force. He was fired for an unrelated matter. So Unser is now on probation and was given an interlock device for his vehicle. Governor Susana Martinez has announced her administration is developing a new system to evaluate the performance of teachers and principals. She says it will be partially based on student achievement. The Public Education Department will propose the regulations next month, then hold public meetings. Governor Martinez said the system will be finalized this summer to be implemented in the 2013-2014 school year. And speaking of Governor Martinez, her approval ratings have earned her a spot on the top 10 most popular governors list. The list was actually compiled by the Washington Post. Governors like New Jersey's Chris Christie and New York's Andrew Cuomo were also on the list. And finally this morning, if your pets are ever involved in a fire and breathe in too much smoke, firefighters now have a new way to help save their lives. All of the 12 fire stations for Bernalillo County now have what they call pet oxygen masks. This is really cool, I think. Firefighters got them yesterday from Long Leash on Live. That's a local pet supply company. The masks come in a small, medium, or large size, so they can fit almost every animal. And apparently, they put them on these animals after the fire once they're outside and make sure that they're breathing okay. And kind of a cool thing, I think. And that wraps it up for your Thursday morning headlines. Be sure to start your day with Matt Morrow, Kristen Van Dyke, and me every weekday morning beginning at 4:30 a.m. on KRQE News 13. Nikki and Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
That is so cute for the dogs. I love that they take care of those pets as well, because, you know, we're all inhaling that. If, God forbid, you're stuck in a fire, it's important to take care of your pets.
And a lot of people, pets are like their children.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you want them to be safe.
Absolutely. Now, here's a little story we've got to tell. We're kind of revisiting. This is a little bit of a follow-up for you. She won't get out of bed for $10 million, but she maybe will for 15. We're hearing that Britney Spears has reached an agreement to serve as a judge on the X Factor.
That is so exciting. There she is. The singer will collect $15 million overall for the gig. So that's going to include an occasional performance on the show as well. The deal has been agreed upon, but it hasn't been signed. And you know how that goes.
Yes.
Especially in this business, until it is on the dotted line.
Yeah.
You can't say it's a go. You never know. It could totally fall through.
Yeah, and from what I understand, her fiance is involved in this financial process. I don't think her dad is really 100% in favor. You know, her dad's been kind of managing her career as of late, ever since she kind of went off the deep end. She got back on track. Now her fiance apparently is getting involved in all of these financial decisions. So we'll see what happens. It could be interesting, though. I mean, like I've always said all along, I do love Britney. I used to love teaching her dances when I used to teach dance, but she does lip sync, so it's hard for me to give a lot of validity to her judging a voice contest when she doesn't even sing live herself most of the time.
That is true. But I think it'll be, I don't know, I think it'll be entertaining, and I think that people will want to tune in and watch.
Yeah,
I think it could definitely be a ratings grabber.
I agree with that. Definitely. Definitely.
Well, TMZ has learned that Mark Anthony has a possible, let's see.
He's officially filed.
He's officially what?
Filed for divorce.
Filed for divorce?
Done.
All right.
It's over. It's really over this time. It's not speculative. It's not a separation.
Yeah.
It's goodbye, J-Lo. Irreconcilable differences were cited. Yes, and Mark is asking for joint legal and physical custody of the couple's twins, Emmy and Max, and they are 4 years old, and he's not offering spousal support. But I don't think she needs that much financial help from him. What do you think?
No, she's good. She can take care of
How you guys doing? First date tonight?
She can take care of herself and another person.
Yeah.
She's going to be just fine.
Well, I think that K-Viva, actually, if you didn't get a chance to catch K-Viva here on Fox, it's actually a great show watching them go. They went all across South America. They found some of the best Latin talent in the world and brought them back to the States, and really spectacular. And you saw them together, on the show, and they seem to get along pretty well for a couple who's, on the road to divorce. So hopefully it all works out for them. We'll see. At least for the children's sake, it works out for them to maintain some composure with each other. But they're both dating other people now, so they've moved on quickly.
They have done it fast.
Yeah, and speaking of love connections, TMZ is also reporting a possible love connection. This is between former Playboy Playmate of the Year, you may remember, Miss Jenny McCarthy, who used to be linked up to Jim Carrey, yeah, and New Mexico native and Chicago Bears linebacker Brian Urlacher. They're linked together now.
Yeah, the two were spotted at one of the most expensive steak joints in Beverly Hills Tuesday. The couple tried their best to go unnoticed, leaving the steakhouse by exiting out a back door and slipping into a waiting SUV, as you can see there. But they got tons of attention.
Tons of attention. That's interesting. You know, she's not known as much for dating the sports guys as she is for dating the actors. So it's a new level for her. But you know, I like Jenny McCarthy. She's a little bit out there for me. Sometimes not as classy as I would like her to be. Sometimes she's a little distasteful. But overall, she seems like a good person.
She seems like she's herself.
Yeah,
which is I like to see. I think.
And she's a good mother.
Lets it all out.
She does that indeed.
In more than one way.
Well said, Kristen. Another person who has no shame.
No, Guns N' Roses is going to the Hall of Fame. We talked about that earlier, but without Axl Rose. The former band's frontman says he's not attending and is even declining his induction into the Hall.
I'm really upset about this. He wrote a letter saying it would avoid what would be, okay, I'm going to quote, complicated or an awkward situation. Axl Rose does not even want to be inducted post-mortem. Seriously, many people thought the induction would be the reunion of this legendary rock group. I was trying to have a little patience.
You know, he has had some, issues like with manic depressive disorder, and I'm sure that's caused a lot of conflict between him and his band members, and so maybe some of that stuff is what's going on. I don't know. But
I don't
it's kind of sad.
I just feel upset about this because, a lot of us... Yeah, I was a big fan, and I hate the fact that they're not going to reunite like that. But I still hope that the other guys have an opportunity because it's not fair to them because he's, doesn't want to be a part of this. I hope that the band itself, because the rest of them are still going strong, so I hope they still have an opportunity. Now, obviously celebrities can be self-indulgent and narcissistic. In the celebrity world, this is something you may not know. A rider is the document that requests that an entertainer, he makes this, or she makes this request when they're going on a movie set or they're doing a concert, and some of these requests can get pretty outrageous. So here's a few, okay? If you win free tickets to an Adele concert, you might want to just say no. Adele's rider specifies that if a person did not have to pay for a ticket, they must, and I say must, make a minimum donation of $20 to Adele's charity of choice. Now, should she be telling people they must do that if they win free tickets? Do you think that's fair?
Because then it's not really free.
Right. It's a minimum of $20.
Because then you're like almost the charity that's getting donated to with the tickets.
Right.
I don't know.
I just don't think it's fair, really, personally.
That's interesting. But at least I guess it's going to a good cause.
That part I
guess it could be more of a selfish type of situation. I mean, at least it's going, I guess she's trying to help in her own way. Yeah. But I know I'm sure a lot of ticket holders who get the free tickets, they're probably like,
wait, what?
What the heck? So, all right.
Never mind.
We talked about Britney earlier, Christina Aguilera. Thought it might be difficult, but her needs are pretty simple. She demands Flintstones chewable vitamins, Nesquik, and Coca-Cola, no Pepsi. So those are her. See,
that's not that bad.
That's not too bad.
If I had a rider, I would ask for Diet Dr. Pepper. I would. I love Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper, if you would like to be a sponsor of New Mexico Style, I will be happy to endorse you. Now, Katy Perry knows what she doesn't want. No carnations. As she prepared to embark on the U.S. leg of her 2011 World Tour, Katy Perry carried a 45-page rider outlining her likes and dislikes. Go figure, California girls. It outlawed carnations and detailed specific furniture requirements. I'm not even kidding, okay? She didn't want cream-colored egg chairs. One which should have a footstool. I'm not even kidding. These are like on her rider. This is what it's saying. Like she's giving furniture demands. Seriously. That kind of makes me lose a little respect for her.
I know. It gets a little out of hand, huh?
No wonder Russell didn't want to have like a whole
Talk about high maintenance.
Remember he was talking about not wanting to fight her for all the logistics in their relationship when they got divorced. Now I see why. She's probably very difficult in that way.
She's very detailed in what she wants.
Yeah.
All right, we saved the best, or is it the worst, for last. J-Lo demands a white room, white flowers, white tables, white drapes, and white couches. She prefers her dressing room to be a white haven. She also likes her room to contain low watt light bulbs, coffee that has been stirred in a counterclockwise direction like a low pressure system, and some Skittles.
Oh my! Now I have heard that Jennifer Lopez has some crazy demands. I've heard that, but I didn't realize it was so white. I didn't realize that. Interesting. Okay, good.
I guess she wants to feel innocent.
Guess so. Yeah, right.
She's probably not.
Not so innocent, although that's the Britney line. But yeah, not so innocent for J-Lo either. For more outrageous celebrity demands, you can visit msn.com. Funny.
That's right. Yeah, that's good stuff there. All right, one item that probably won't see a high demand. Bacon sundaes. We're hearing that Burger King is launching this new treat that serves an actual strip of bacon alongside vanilla ice cream.
Sounds good. Chocolate sauce and caramel toppings also a part of this. And, you know, we told you in February that Jack in the Box was actually offering a bacon milkshake in select markets. And last year, Denny's launched a bacon maple sundae. I can't say it. Bacon maple sundae. This is obviously the start of a new trend. Bacon with your ice cream? Blech.
I like it in syrup. That's it. I like to dip it on my maple syrup.
You do bacon? Yeah, I can see that. Like in pancakes.
It's really good. Yeah.
I'm kind of
not with ice cream.
No, I don't think so. Now today is Big Wind Day, which commemorates the highest wind speed ever recorded on the planet. This could be interesting, which could very well be in New Mexico, but it's not.
Yeah, you would think so. So this is what happened back on April 12, 1934. A while back, the staff of the Mount Washington Observatory recorded the highest surface wind ever measured anywhere on Earth at that time, 231 miles an hour. But here's the disappointing news: is they've actually been eclipsed by Australia. There was a cyclone, tropical cyclone, that went right over one of the islands near Australia, and it had a 253 mile an hour gust. But the Australians are like, yeah, so what? We don't care. So it didn't really make the news, and so still, even though technically it's not the highest wind speed ever recorded, most people still know it.
Well, it's Big Wind Day, ironically, on a day that you told us is going to get really windy.
It is. Big wind, big hair today. Wear the hairspray, because it's going to be blowing it around.